the type of conditioning we'll need to play, with 46, 47 guys out there for the entirety of the game. That's always a little 47 guys out there for the entirety of the game. That's always a little bit of a tricky issue going into the opener.
You always preach, next man up. That's the way it has to go. Malcolm Kuntz and Tyree Wilson figure to, be involved in that. Where's the confidence level, I guess? And
yeah.
I think Malcolm had a pretty nice training camp. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, somebody will get banged up in the game, you know what I mean? So everybody that's active is going to have a role in the game and play, and we expect everybody to get out there and hopefully make a positive impact. So I think our entire defensive line group has really worked hard. I think we have a little bit more depth across the board than we did last year, just in general terms, and we'll do what we have to do to be able to play the game the right way. But yeah, both those guys you mentioned, and there's a few other guys, and we have some other guys on the practice squad too that would be considerations as well.
Josh, just to confirm, you don't expect Chandler to practice?
I don't expect Brandon, Faison, or Chandler to play this week.
As a follow-up, I know we asked you the other day about kind of preparing for the offense with Sean Payton being in his first year, but they also have not the first year defense coordinator, but the first year there, Vance Joseph. I know the defensive personnel is pretty much the same with the Broncos, but how have you guys tried to prepare with them having a new coach?
Yeah, it's a little. I mean, VJ does a great job, and they kept some of the guys that were there last year too, which is, that's kind of, it's not a completely different staff on that side of the ball, which is interesting. Also, I think says a lot about the guys that were there last year that did a great job. This defense was ranked in the top 5 or 6 in almost every important metric last season. So they played really good football on that side of the ball for sure. And so, we've looked at Vance and what Vance has done. Vance has a lot of experience and variety doing some different things based on his personnel. So if his personnel is better to do this, then he'll do that. If his personnel is better to do something else, then he has enough flexibility within his scheme to be able to do that. That's why I have so much respect for him. And his players play the right way. They play hard. They're very disciplined. There's not a lot of easy things, against this group. And so we've had to look at, our opportunities against Vance in the past. We competed against them last year against Arizona. We've also looked at their preseason stuff. We've looked at some things that we saw last year against the Denver team that we're getting ready to play, because a lot of the players are similar or the same. So, you never know. We just, you kind of throw it all in the same bucket and say, we're probably going to get a bunch of this. Some of it we may not. And we're definitely going to get something we're not practicing. So that's always part of the anxiety of opening day, is kind of getting into the game and going, oh, okay, well, we didn't practice that. You know what I mean? So it's going to be important for us to follow our rules. You start the game with an idea of what you might see in each phase. But at the end of the day, I think this is where the training camp practices against another club are really important, because when you go into those, you have no idea what they're going to do. They could try 100 new things against you, and you're the guinea pig, and so really it tests your rules, it tests your discipline, tests your communication, and that's basically what opening day turns into.
Because the one good thing is you have basically a week to prepare, not having Chandler out there instead of, say, this arises today or something.
Yeah, I mean, Chan's again, we've had a number of guys practicing in there for a while now, so they'll be ready to go. All our guys will be ready to go.
What have you seen from Josh Jacobs in the 2 weeks since he's been back, and what impact from what you've seen do you think that'll have on his role on Sunday?
He's been the same guy that I saw last year, and 1 year, further in terms of his overall, he's got great leadership, great urgency, super locked in. Really good influence on his teammates. Obviously that's why he was named the captain. But just, smart football player, really wants to do things the right way all the time, has a high standard for himself, and meets it most every day, So, I couldn't ask anything more from this guy. I've said that before, and I'll say it, until we're done coaching. He's a great player. And so we'll see how it goes relative to overall the role and the usage and all the rest of that stuff. I think that's much to be determined as we go into the game. We're going to start with an idea of what we're going to do, and then we'll adjust as we're kind of seeing everything play out.
You have a couple of rookies on the team, Tyree, Michael Mayer, and Jacorian, who kind of seem like they have earned roles and, see them getting a couple of, good amounts of reps in the game on Sunday. How excited yet cautiously optimistic are you to see, your young players that you invested in, get those early snaps?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys. I'd say I'd put first and second year players in that category too. Because a lot of them, some of them played a little bit more than others last year, and I'd say have maybe earned a little bit of a different role this year also. So I go into the beginning of the season kind of again as an extension of training camp, and we get to do something now that we haven't done in a while. So we're going to learn a lot. I'm excited to see those guys all go out there and compete and do their jobs. Everything won't be perfect. There's no question about that. Opening day never is, and we're in an imperfect sport. So we'll learn as much from these games and what they're doing and not doing as anything else we've done. It'll be a great opportunity for any young player, first, second year player, to get out there and really, test themselves, their rules. They're going to see things they haven't seen before. They're going to play and compete against guys they haven't competed against. So I'm excited for all our guys and, the young guys, the younger guys that will have an opportunity to play. I think they've earned whatever that role will be, and hopefully we can go out there and do our jobs well.
With Josh on the that exempt list, when do you have to make a move to get him on the 53?
Tomorrow. Yeah. Yep. We'll have to do something to get to 53.
I know when you guys drafted Trey Tucker, obviously you had a vision for him and an idea of what he was all about. But what have you learned about him in training camp in terms of how he can be utilized? Not to find out exactly what you're planning on doing, but
You want the game plan, Vinny?
yeah, that'd be great. But in terms of, it looked like in preseason there were a lot of different ways that long balls.
Yeah. I mean, Trey's like a lot of the young guys. He got a lot of experience and exposure to different things. Because I think, every time you're out there, I've said this before, you're either going to do a good job at something or you're going to learn from the mistake at this point in time in your career. So we tried a lot of different things with all our rookies, honestly. I gave them an opportunity to fail and learn from it, you know what I mean? And if they succeeded at it, was great. So Trey's got a tremendous attitude. He's very bright. He's a great worker. I know Devontae mentioned something about him. He's very mature for a young guy. He pays really good attention to the guys that know how to do things better than he does right now, and he tries to do things right. So he practices hard. He's been out there every day. His durability has really been a positive factor for him, as every young player, they come into the league. If you're not out there, it's hard to get better. So Trey's given him himself every opportunity to improve every day. The role that he'll have will kind of, I would say, morph as we go, but we're working him in a lot of different areas, and he's working hard at all of them.
Josh, as you've said, Chandler's situation is totally a personal situation.
Yes, sir.
How have you seen this locker room kind of weather the storm this week with everything that's been going on?
I think they're focused on the competition, that we have in front of us on Sunday, and controlling what they can control. We've had a really good week so far. Looking forward to a good day today, and I know they want to finish off the preparation the best that they can today, and I've been very proud of just their approach in general, and excited to see them play on Sunday, honestly.
You guys good? All right.
Good to go? Okay. See you in